As we welcome you back to MetLife Stadium, the lights are on. It has been raining for about an hour. It is light right now, but it may become heavier as the day wears on. To the delight of the fans, the Giants have won the toss and they will receive.
If there's any good news, Greg, you saw it there with the winds only at 3 miles an hour. A lot of times it can be swirling and hazardous to a passer's health. Right now, the winds are extremely calm.
Tom Coughlin looking on as Phil Dawson gets set to kick it away for Cleveland. Deep for the Giants, number 35, Andre Brown. Number 22, David Wilson, averaging a little over 30 yards a return, and we are underway. From the 3-yard line, it's Wilson. And dragged down from the backside short of the 15-yard line by Johnson Dadamosi. So the Giants on offense, and the Giant quarterback Eli Manning, his 1,320 yards passing, second only to Drew Brees. Eli, one of the very best, 7 TDs, 4 interceptions in his 9th season out of Mississippi. The Giants from their own 14. And the give is to Ahmad Bradshaw. Lost the football. Pops up in the air. Still loose. And picked off by the Browns. Sheldon Brown, the cornerback, recovered the loose football. And right off the bat, we get a turnover favoring the Cleveland Browns.
And that look is worth 1,000 words. A look of pure, almost disbelief by Tom Coughlin. A good cut to the outside, then back to the inside, and it looked like Chris Snee, his own blocker, moves right in front of him, and Snee's shoulder pad actually knocks the football away from Ahmad Bradshaw. Bradshaw didn't have it tight against his body, and as Snee was making his block, his shoulder pad, his right shoulder pad, actually hit the football, and the arm of Bradshaw knocked it loose.
What a golden opportunity to start things off for the Cleveland Browns. They begin at the 22.
As with all turnovers, it was reviewed and confirmed.
Trent Richardson. Nice cut to the outside, back inside the 15. It'll be spotted at the 15-yard line. And Brandon Weeden, the Cleveland quarterback, the 22nd pick overall in the draft, undergoing trial by fire. 3 TD passes. He's been picked 7 times, completing 54% of his throws. And as we mentioned in our open, Dan, he is an older rookie. He'll be turned 29 a week from today. And there's the head coach of the Browns, Pat Shermer,
who likes that kind of production on first down.
On 2nd and 3, Richardson again, straight ahead, right up the middle, touchdown Browns.
Well, talk about a group of New York Giants that would like Groundhog Day and start this thing over. Not even a minute gone on the clock, and already they're down. Look at the hole. Trent Richardson never even challenged a complete demolition of the front 7 of the Giants by the Browns offensively. And 52 seconds into this game, this is a stunned crowd.
The extra point is good. Trent Richardson, his 5th touchdown of the season, his 4th rushing TD. They turn the turnover into 7 points, 7-0 Cleveland. Less than a minute into the game, Ahmad Bradshaw, his first fumble of the season, turning into a touchdown by that young man, Trent Richardson. And it's 7-0 Browns. 14:08 to play here in the first quarter, and again, they will kick away to David Wilson and Andre Brown. This one will come down well short of the end zone. Wilson from the 9. And down at the 22-yard line. So once again, Eli Manning and the offense back to work. Eli's 1,320 passing yards, second best in the NFL to Drew Brees.
And Ahmad Bradshaw is in the huddle. Remember, he had a neck injury, and he was dealing with a bruised hand during the preseason. And I know that it's raining, but that fumble didn't look to me like it was because the ball was wet or anything like that. He just wasn't expecting that contact from his own player.
Manning to the air. This time throws far side of the field, and that is complete out to the 30-yard line to Victor Cruz. On the offensive line, center David Voss had a couple of rollbacks last week with the sore right hand. Everyone says it's better this week. And at wide receiver, Hakeem Nicks misses a third straight game. Ramses Barton out with a concussion. Victor Cruz catching that first pass becomes Eli Manning's main target this afternoon. Pickup of 8 on the play at 2nd and 2.
Go down set, 518.
Manning to throw again. And got rid of it. Billy Wynn in on the quarterback. Cleveland's front four includes the rookie defensive tackle out of Boise State. The Browns say he was a steal as a 6th-round pick. At linebacker, DeQuell Jackson having a terrific year so far. 3 sacks, 2 interceptions. He returned one of those for a touchdown. And in the secondary, strong safety T.J. Ward broke his right thumb against Baltimore a week ago Thursday. Had surgery. He starts today.
And that's a secondary that's having to compensate for their most talented player, Joe Hayden, serving the 4th game of his suspension.
3rd and 2. Outside, incomplete. Penalty marker flies. Dominic Hickson, the intended receiver, and Dimitri Patterson appeared to be all over it.
And Patterson is playing the cornerback position that would have been held by Joe Hayden.
Pass interference. Defense, number 21. The ball he plays to the spot of foul. Automatic first down.
I think this was pretty obvious right now. You get 5 yards. We are way beyond the 5-yard mark, and Patterson never broke his connection with Dominic Hickson at all. Normally Joe Hayden would lock up in this game. He'd lock up with Victor Cruz, and then Sheldon Brown would work the other receiver. But in this case, both corners are going to stay at home, left and right, Patterson and Brown, 24 there at the bottom.
New set of downs, and we have movement up front, and this will back the Giants up.
False start. Offense, number 76. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
So that's Chris Snee, who happens to be Tom Coughlin's son-in-law. And it'll be 1st and 15.
Well, Greg, at the very top, you said who wants to play a winless football team? And you can, trap game, you can call this whatever you want. After a disappointing loss last week and a road trip to the 49ers coming up next week, focus is going to be very important for the Giants.
Manning, running out of time, throws incomplete on the near side to Bradshaw.
Well, I think that was intentional on Eli's part because Scott Fujita was all over Ahmad Bradshaw, not in an illegal way. He just had really good coverage. And Eli Manning had absolutely no place to go with the football. That's a throwaway.
There is T.J. Ward playing with the surgically repaired right thumb.
And just keep in mind, folks, he had 8 or 9 screws placed in his right thumb on Monday. And he is out there playing football 6 days later.
I'd still be in the hospital there. 2nd and 15. Manning. Little screen for Bradshaw. Bradshaw with blockers across the 40 out to about the 43-yard line.
Well, they got a nice chunky yardage back with that. Kevin Gilbride, good call here with the screen. Manning looks off the secondary. There's David Voss, his center out in front. He's going to get the contain. He stays with it. And again, good cut by Bradshaw. You need patience on a screen when you're the runner.
Offensive coordinator Kevin Gilbride.
His 9th year here in New York, the 6th as offensive coordinator. A lot of continuity for Eli Manning.
Manning from the shotgun on 3rd and 5. Again with time. Outside and overthrows his tight end, Martellus Bennett. Again, it is sprinkling out there. We asked Eli about wet conditions, and he wasn't particularly bothered by it.
No, like most quarterbacks, he's not really, unless it's a monsoon, as he said, they're more concerned with the wind. And in this situation here, at least so far, the wind's not a factor.
Josh Cribbs, deep. And will let this one bounce, and it'll roll into the end zone for the touchback. Brandon Weeden and the Cleveland offense will start from their own 20-yard line when we come back. But right now it's an early 7-0 Cleveland lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. McDonald's, I'm loving it. And by the new Droid Razr M by Motorola. Say hello to the full screen phone.
Light rain continues to fall. 12-14 to play here in the first quarter. Cleveland with the ball and a 7-0 lead at their own 20-yard line. Trent Richardson again. This time held to a single yard. Jason Pierre-Paul with the tackle. The offensive line has rookie Mitchell Schwartz at right tackle, 5-time Pro Bowler Joe Thomas at left tackle up front, and the backs and the receivers, and we're getting a look at one of the exciting rookies in the NFL, Trent Richardson. 5 touchdowns now in this, his 5th NFL game. 2nd and 9. Weeden's first pass of the day over the middle is complete across the 25, out to the 27. Jordan Norwood on the receiving end. The Giants' fearsome front four, missing defensive tackle Rocky Bernard today. Rookie Marcus Kuhn starts for him. The linebackers, number 59 Michael Boley, off to a terrific start. 3 interceptions to lead the Giants in that department. And the secondary, missing strong safety Kenny Phillips sideline with a sprained right MCL. Third-year safety Stevie Brown starts for him. 3rd and 2. Weeden going to throw for it. Out to the far side. That's complete and out of bounds with the pass is Jordan Cameron, the tight end, for a first down.
Well, that shows you the kind of confidence that the Cleveland Browns have in this rookie quarterback, putting the ball in his hands deep in his own territory, and he throws a nice pass that Cameron can turn upfield with. And Pat Shermer, the head coach, he's got a lot of confidence in Brandon Weeden. Again, though, he's concerned about his check down.
This is Richardson again. And Richardson dances his way out to the 38. Good footwork.
Oh, well, he's great change of direction. You know, he's only 5'9", so he's got a low center of gravity to begin with. But look, I mean, just look at his upper body. Look at those arms. But then his thighs, his lower legs, he's got a wonderful combination of speed and power and tremendous balance. What I can't get over is how small his shoulder pads are. I think I'd want to wear a bigger pair of shoulder pads.
2nd and 5. Play fake. Weeden gonna go deep. Got a man open. He's got it. Josh Gordon for the touchdown. 62 yards.
Well, Josh Gordon getting playing time because Massaquoi and Benjamin are hurt. Look at Chase Blackburn, the linebacker, making a valiant attempt to try to run with Gordon. Entrell Roll, the safety, not even a factor in that play. You cannot ask Chase Black. I know he had that great interception in the Super Bowl, but you can't ask him to run all the way downfield with a wide receiver like Josh Gordon. I think it's amazing that Blackburn was even within a couple of yards of Gordon.
That is the longest pass completion of Brandon Weeden's young career. That extra point is good.
Well, a linebacker has got to have some help over the top against a wide receiver. That's asking the impossible of Chase Blackburn.
Brandon Weeden, happy camper. Nice pass, rookie. 14-0, Cleveland in the lead. And still 10:03 to play here in the first quarter.
And how quiet is it in here? If they weren't playing music over the PA system, there wouldn't be a sound in MetLife Stadium.
The Giants have surrendered points now on 7 consecutive drives. Wilson and Brown deep. And this will be run out of the end zone by Andre Brown, and he is hit and decked short of the 10-yard line. Bad decision by Andre Brown. hesitated for a moment and didn't get very far with it. Let's go back to the touchdown.
Well, Josh Gordon is lined up in the slot, Greg. He's right here. Here's Blackburn, and here's Roll. And Blackburn is going to turn and try to run with Josh Gordon. But there's no way you can ask a linebacker. He's got to have help from Antrell Roll. And Roll is in a position he just doesn't get anywhere near it. That would be a touchdown every time if you're asking your middle linebacker to run 50 yards downfield with a wide receiver.
Josh Gordon had 93 receiving yards in the first 4 games, 62 on that one play.
518, by touch.
On first down, Ahmad Bradshaw trying the right side, can't turn the corner. As we mentioned earlier, the Cleveland Browns, when they come up against the defending Super Bowl champion, they've been doing fairly well, Dan.
Well, in 08, 09, and 10, take a look at what they accomplished. Does that have any bearing on today? Well, no, it's not forecasting a victory today, but it just shows you it's pretty interesting.
That's tight end Martellus Bennett, who is on the ground. As they look at him, we'll take a break with 9:47 to play in the first.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Windows 8 and by the all-new Honda Accord. It starts with you.
Martellus Bennett was able to walk slowly off the field with a little bit of a limp. We'll show you what happened to him after this play. Bear Pasco replaces him at tight end on 2nd and 7. Manning on the move, throws over the middle. Great diving catch across the 25 by Dominic Hickson. And that's a first down for the Giants.
Well, this was a laser from Eli Manning. And again, it's just man coverage all the way. Dimitri Patterson locked up on Hickson. And a good route. And, the coverage wasn't bad, but the strike from Eli Manning was just perfect. Just perfect, right on the hands.
So the Giants with a first down now at their own 27. This is Bradshaw. And Bradshaw wrapped up just short of the 30-yard line by Jabal Sheard. And let's go back to that injury. This wasn't pretty, Martellus Bennett.
No, he's blocking on Frosty Rucker, and I'll circle him. Here he is right here. Watch at the end of this block. He throws his left leg out right there, and you can see how his knee hyperextends. And that's, when you looked at that, it just looked, that was an awful lot of movement in his knee joint. And I can't overestimate what that loss would mean to the Giants. Martellus Bennett has really given them a big boost. Good signing.
518, by touch.
Bradshaw, right side, running room. First down, out to the 40-yard line.
That's how you finish a run. Usama Young just got trampled by Ahmad Bradshaw. First of all, what a great hole off the right side. Chris Snee made that. Watch that. Whoa, look at that finish. Usama Young right through DeQuell Jackson and right over the top of number 28, Usama Young. That is the way to finish. And Bradshaw might be running a little angry after that opening fumble.
518.
First down from the 41. Manning. All kinds of time throwing and almost picked off, and we get penalty markers. Intended for Hickson, covered by Patterson.
Maava, the linebacker, was underneath. He almost got a hand on it.
Here's Clete Blakeman.
There are 2 fouls against the offense on the play. Holding, number 42, that penalty is declined. Personal foul, chop block, number 44. It's a 15-yard penalty, replay first down.
Well, they're calling Ahmad Bradshaw. I think Chris Snee was the guard that was also involved in this. Watch at the bottom of your screen. That's Ward coming on the blitz. I don't, I know Snee is to the inside, but you are allowed to block below the waist in that situation. That's a tough call.
He would have to be determined to have been engaged.
And I don't think that he was engaged with. Snee doesn't even see him. And
No.
now, from that angle, are both of them in contact at the same time with T.J. Ward? Yes. That penalty is almost unavoidable if you're the Giants.
1st and 25. Manning throwing far side of the field. Nice grab made over there by Ruben Randall. Let's get an update. First one of the day, JV and Boomer.
The good and the bad of the Eagles.
Well, here's some good news for Giant fans, and that's Michael Vick. He's going to take it in, and he's going to fumble. That's the 4th fumble inside the red zone for the Philadelphia Eagles this season, the most in the NFL. 0-0 between the Eagles and Steelers.
Greg and Dan.
A little fumbleitis happening early this Sunday afternoon.
I just can't believe what a turnover machine Michael Vick has been early here in the 12th season.
2nd and 11 now. Manning attempting to complete.
Well,
late flag coming in here.
Well, that's hitting a defenseless receiver.
Buster Screen, number 22, involved, and it was off the fingertips of Ruben Randall.
I don't know if that's if they're going to determine that that was a shot to the head. They're talking about it. This is what veteran officials do. They confer and get a couple different looks at it.
Pass interference, defense, number 22. Ball replaced at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Penalty is on screen. Let's take another look.
Man coverage all the way by Screen. And actually, they called him for interference, but right there, a helmet-to-helmet hit as Usama Young comes in, and that drew no attention whatsoever.
From the 47-yard line, Manning. And that play is complete to the 35. Randall with the catch.
And there's Buster Screen again on the coverage, and Ruben Randall now with Ramsey Barton and Hakeem Nicks out. A lot of pressure on this rookie to come through. And it helps when you get a nice throw like that from Eli Manning. Even though the coverage was pretty tight, Eli puts it right in the midsection, right on the hands.
We're being told that cornerback Sheldon Brown is being examined in the locker room for a possible head injury for the Browns.
Well, that would mean then that their 2 top corners, with Joe Hayden being suspended, aren't playing.
Manning, far side, on the button. Randall again.
And Buster Screen has got to be going, what do I have to do from a coverage standpoint? They don't complete this in practice when I got that tight of coverage. And just a perfect back throw toss here from Eli Manning. And that's a good move, getting the youngster Ruben Randall involved early in this game. We've got flags in the secondary coming from both sides.
Prior to the foul, Cleveland takes its first timeout of the half.
So we get a timeout with 5:34 to play here in the first quarter. 14-0 Cleveland. Giants are used to doing the scoring in the first quarter, not being scored upon. And this is Bradshaw. Bradshaw just inside the 20-yard line. I want to make a correction for you. Said Sheldon Brown was in the locker room, and it's Andre Brown of the Giants, number 35, and we think happened possibly the head injury on this return.
Well, watch his helmet bounce off the ground right there. And that is when you're not able to protect yourself and your head snaps back, and you could see it visibly bounce up off the... And Sheldon Brown, good news for the Cleveland Browns, he's just fine, still in the game.
2nd and 4. 9th play of this drive. Bradshaw. Bradshaw still on his feet. Inside the 10 to the 8. It'll be 1st and goal.
Well, what a great change of direction by Ahmad Bradshaw. Supposed to go off right guard, and because of the block by Bear Pasco, he's able to break it all the way to the left. Look at Pasco collapse the left side of the line. He takes Frosty Rucker about 3 yards to the inside. Very alert running by Ahmad Bradshaw.
Bradshaw now 6 for 35 yards.
Mark Bavaro would have been proud of that block by Pastor.
First and goal from the 8.
Bavaro, one of the great blocking tight ends of all time.
Manning, short pass over the middle to Randall inside the 5 to about the 3.5. There's been a great deal of discussion about young Mr. Randall and his work ethic, Dan.
Well, yeah, and you know he's young, and he's one of those guys that he didn't come to the NFL just where you open the can and put him out there and he's just ready to go. It's been a learning experience for him. Tom Coughlin, Kevin Gilbride, Eli Manning, all willing to talk about it. But what they're pleased about is every week he's gotten better. Every week he's improved. Every week he's beginning to figure it out. A bright future for the guy. He's very talented.
On second and goal. Play fake. Manning, throw, touchdown. Victor Cruz.
Well, first of all, the play action fake just froze everybody from the Browns, and then taking advantage of complete man coverage against Buster Screen. Victor Cruz with a nifty little out just leaves Screen hanging in the end zone, not even able to get close.
Cruz's third touchdown catch of the young season.
It all started, though, with an outstanding play action fake.
This was a 92-yard drive. The extra point by Lawrence Tynes is good. 3:22 to play in the first quarter, and the Giants answer back. It is Cleveland 14 and the Giants 7. Eli Manning going over the pictures and numbers. Pretty good production on that last drive.
Yeah, it was a very good drive, and that talk about a team that needed to put together a 92-yard drive, take up some time, get some points. The one thing about the Giants, even down 14-0, Eli Manning's been to more than a couple rodeos. He's not going to, his hair is not going to catch on fire.
Josh Cribbs is deep. His 8 career kickoff return touchdowns, #1 all time in the NFL. Cribbs with a running start out of the end zone. The sideline, gets a block, cuts inside, and all the way out across the 35-yard line. Brought down by Spencer Pasinger. Let's go back to a well-executed touchdown.
And we talked about the play-action fake, but watch this. Here's Victor Cruz. Watch him fight for inside position before he breaks back to the out. He makes it look like he's trying to block. Oh, and that just froze Buster Screen. Buster Screen, rather. That was really outstanding work by Victor Cruz, making his stem on the pattern there look like a block before he stutter-stepped and then broke it outside.
So Weeden in the offense from their own 36, Trent Richardson. Richardson breaking to the outside. Penalty marker flies in the backfield, and he's bumped out of bounds at about the 43.
Holding. Offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
That'll be the tight end, Benjamin Watson.
And that was a play, Greg, that was intended to go inside. And when the guy you're blocking starts to go the other direction, and he did it because Richardson bounced to the outside, a lot of time a blocker gets caught, and that's where you end up with a hold. And Watson that time, he wasn't expecting his guy to want to go to the sideline, but that's where the running back ended up going, and that's the hold.
So it's first and 20 now. Weeden from the shotgun, little screen, Richardson with blockers in front of him and running room. 40. Puts his head down across the 45, out to about the 48, and it's enough for a first down.
Well, you know, with a young quarterback, you're going to see a lot of draws, a lot of screens. That's one of the ways you protect a young guy. And this just seemed to totally take the Giants by surprise. And Richardson able to cut all the way back across the field. That's a nice little block there, a stiff arm, getting Chase Blackburn to grab air.
Richardson across midfield into Giant territory. We get another update from New York. JB and Boomer.
18-yard pass as Cedric Benson sets this up, Boom.
And here comes John Kuhn right up the middle, fullback stuff, old-style football, 7-0. Packers take the lead in Indianapolis.
Old style. I like that. Like the sound of it. Greg and Dan.
All right, guys, thank you. 14-7 Cleveland. Minute 45 remaining here in the first. Weeden under pressure, throws, and that's complete. Inside the 45 to the 42, Jordan Norwood, who was inactive the first 2 games of this season, now pressed into service.
Boy, really, yeah, Mohamed Massaquoi, it's his second game missed because of a hamstring injury. He didn't play last week against Baltimore either. Travis Benjamin, another absence in the Browns receiving corps for Pat Shurmur.
And they will measure here to see if he reached first down yardage.
And I'll tell you, the Giants coaches have to be pretty disappointed that having Cleveland facing a 1st and 20, how quickly they got out of the hole.
And that is enough for a first down.
And now they're playing football in the Giants' end of the field.
Incidentally, the rain, which had been falling about an hour prior to game time and then into the start, appears to have stopped for the moment. Although there is more in the forecast. I believe, Dan, it's scheduled to resume about the time you're ready to take off.
Doesn't it all?
First down. Richardson, right side. Cuts it back to the 35.
Boy,
He's got a good case of the quicks, doesn't he?
Yeah, he sure does. And I think his offensive line has a good case of busting their buns to get around the corner and get out in front of him. Check this out. This is an old-fashioned sweep here. Alex Mack, the center, comes all the way around. Mitchell Schwartz, the tackle, he's out in front. And he gets a nice block, allowing Richardson to cut back in. And Chase Blackburn is finding out that this guy is, one hand isn't going to bring him down.
2nd and 3. Weeden looking deep down the sideline. Incomplete. Thrown out of bounds, intended for Greg Little. First ball thrown his way today, covered by Corey Webster. You know, Trent Richardson was telling us he's been able to develop a nice little relationship with the great Jim Brown, and Jim Brown has had some nice things to say to him.
Well, Jim Brown initially questioned Trent Richardson not being worthy of that 3rd pick in the draft, but when he finally met Jim Brown actually said to Trent Richardson, "I see some of myself in you when I look at you." And just stop and think about that.
High praise indeed.
That's high praise indeed.
Chris Obanaya into the backfield. 3rd and 3. And we get a whistle. That quick timeout was courtesy of the Cleveland Browns. They used their 2nd. They've already used 2 and still half a minute to play here in the first quarter.
It came from the bench. That's why it kind of took everybody by surprise. We didn't see it being called.
Including me.
Yeah. Well, join the club.
Obanaya in the backfield with Weeden. In the shotgun on 3rd and 3. Weeden with time, throwing, got his man inside the 25 to the 21-yard line and a first down. Norwood once again.
Was that ball tipped? It looked like it was tipped and still completed. Check it out, going right across the middle. Brandon, yeah, right there. It actually was hit by Linval Joseph. Linval Joseph gets a hand on it, and it still is a completion.
Nice pair of hands on Jordan Norwood as we come to the end of the first quarter with the score. The Cleveland Browns 14, the New York Giants 7. We're coming back to East Rutherford after this. You're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 47. As we get set to start the second quarter, that front 4 of the Giant defense undergoing a little more than just casual scrutiny, especially Jason Pierre-Paul, number 90, 16 and a half sacks a year ago, 1.5 so far this year. 1st and 10. Richardson. Inside the 15 to about the 12.
Well, one of the things the Browns are showing is that they've got some athletic offensive linemen that are able to get out in front. This time it's Joe Thomas pulling around the corner. Then Marisic, the fullback, gets a good block, and then it's the cutback by Richardson. Marisic takes Blackburn out of it, and Joe Thomas, again, though, we're seeing some old-fashioned pulling, getting linemen out in front of the running back.
2nd and 1. Weeden on the slant, incomplete, in and out of the hands, a little behind the intended receiver, Josh Gordon.
Yeah, that was a lot behind Josh Gordon. And that's the first serious misfire that we've seen from Brandon Weeden. That was a chance for a big play because Gordon was wide open. I mean, he may have scored on that slant if the pass is out in front where he can take it in stride.
3rd and 1. Richardson. Nowhere to go.
Well, Trent Richardson will watch this on tape and say, I made one too many cuts.
Antrell rolled, OCU Manura.
That was one too many cuts. Let's watch OC here as he fights off the block of Benjamin Watson. And then a good job of working the edge and containment by Antrell Roll. And when Roll gets a shot at the legs, he takes Richardson down.
And Phil Dawson, who is 8 for 8 in field goals this season from 32 yards out, is perfect. 13:39 to play in the first half. It's a 10-point Cleveland lead. Well, we were talking about how Eli Manning answered that second Cleveland touchdown, and the Browns didn't do a bad job of answering themselves, coming back 50 yards, and Phil Dawson with the field goal.
As we mentioned, it's even all the more impressive when you overcome a 1st and 20 to begin that drive.
Browns, 3 drives, 3 scores so far. David Wilson and Darrell Scott are deep.
Barry Fuel has a migraine.
Short kick from the 12. It's Wilson. Wilson eludes 1 tackler. Can elude numbers 2, 3, and 4, and he's down at about the 21-yard line. Join the NFL and the American Cancer Society in the fight against breast cancer by supporting a Crucial Catch campaign. Visit NFL.com/auction to bid on authentic NFL pink gear worn by players and coaches, and it is out in full force today, as it will be for the entire month of October.
Now, the National Football League certainly does its part
Yeah,
to try to advance awareness about breast cancer. They are all in.
518, my touch.
On first down, Ahmad Bradshaw grabbed from behind, spun down at about the line of scrimmage. Once again to New York, James Brown, Boomer Esiason, guys.
Redskins getting it done defensively.
Well, it's up for the quarterback to negotiate the pass rush on a screen. And Matt Ryan throws it right to Ryan Kerrigan. He goes 26 yards for the touchdown, 7-0. Redskins over the Falcons.
Greg Gumbel, Dan Dierdorf.
All right, guys, thank you.
52 is the mic.
Just a 1-yard gain on 2nd and 9. Manning with time, throwing over the middle, and that's complete to number 87, Dominic Hickson, and a first down at about the 38-yard line.
Eli right now is being so accurate. We have seen him complete pass after pass against pretty decent coverage, and that time into that window, he puts it right onto the hands again of Dominic Hickson in stride, and Hickson, knowing he was going to take a shot, did a good job holding on to the football.
And now David Wilson into the backfield, number 22, on first down. Takes the pitch, fakes one way, comes back this way, and gets hit hard by Kaluka Maiava. Once again, JB and Boomer. What you got now, guys?
Green Bay on the board.
Empty backfield. Aaron Rodgers is going to roll to his right. He's going to find James Jones. 6 yards, touchdown pass. 14-0. Packers over the Colts.
Greg and Dan.
All right, guys, thank you.
That was an interesting play by the Giants, a little misdirection, and then completely going the other way, and that was some hit by Maiava. That was a pretty good lick out in the open field.
2nd and 6.
518, my touch.
Straight ahead, Bradshaw to about the 45, maybe the 46-yard line.
Well, you know that the Giants would like to run the football better than they are. Came into the game averaging about 90 yards a game. You know, Tom Coughlin with his his love of the running game, you know that he would like to be more productive. And there's some good news. That's hard to believe. Martellus Bennett is back on the field.
3rd and 3. Manning stepping up with time, throwing complete across midfield. Dominic Hickson with an arm right in front of him made the catch.
Sheldon Brown on the coverage. And again, Eli is completing these passes to receivers that are pretty well covered. I mean, Sheldon Brown, not only is he covering, he's holding, he's grabbing, he's doing everything he can do. He didn't draw a flag, and still the Giants complete the pass. Brown could have easily been called for defensive holding. That was beyond the 5 yards.
On first down now at the Cleveland 47. Manning. Quick pass, Bennett. And Bennett inside the 40 to the 39. Statistical leaders on the day so far. Brandon Weeden, Eli Manning, both pretty accurate, both up over 100 yards. Trent Richardson and Bradshaw. And Josh Gordon and Victor Cruz, both with a touchdown.
Well, Josh Gordon with only the one reception, but it's good for 62. And there's Brandon Weeden watching the old man, Eli, at work.
On 2nd and 2, this is Bradshaw. Lots of way to the left side. First down inside the 35 to the 33. Scott Fujita with the tackle.
And I laugh when I call Eli the old man because he's all of 2 years older than Brandon Weeden.
Well, we were talking with Joe Thomas yesterday, the tackle, who is in his 6th season, and he's looking at a quarterback who's older than he is.
Yeah, Joe Thomas is still only 27.
There's Joe.
Yeah. 5 full seasons in the league, 5 Pro Bowls. Joe Thomas, just a brilliant player.
On first down, Bradshaw, and Bradshaw hit by number 67, Ishmaeli Kitchen. It has begun to rain again here at MetLife Stadium. As we come up on 8:45 to play in the first half.
And again, as the ball gets wet, you know, the officials do a pretty good job of keeping the ball dry, of getting a dry football out onto the field when it's necessary. And again, neither quarterback all that concerned as long as they're not facing a gale, they don't care.
Manning on 2nd and 10, going this side. Oh, what a catch made by Dominic Hickson.
Well, this is how you climb the ladder to go up and get a football that was thrown high. This ball sails just a little bit on Eli, and Hickson really elevates. Take a look at that. That is going up and getting it. And Dominic Hickson is off to a really good start in this game. 4 receptions already. That's pretty.
Remember, this is a Giant receiving corps that's missing Hakeem Nicks, missing a 3rd straight game with a sore right foot and a swollen left knee. Eli with 10 straight completions. Bradshaw running room. Inside the 20, inside the 15, and brought down at the 11-yard line.
Well, first of all, great blocking up front. There's Kevin Booth getting an outstanding block, beating the left tackle. He comes down, and this is a motivated Ahmad Bradshaw running after he started the game with that fumble that resulted in a Cleveland touchdown. Kevin Booth, David Boss at center, that was beautiful, but Bradshaw is running tough.
First down just outside the 10-yard line. Another red zone visit by the Giants. And Manning on the slant, incomplete. Hickson covered by Dimitri Patterson.
That looked like the old-fashioned jump pass. Eli just drops it right in there, and again he puts it right where it's supposed to be, and you got to give Patterson some credit. He gets his arm in there. Might have been a microsecond early, but that is how you have to defend that quick slant. It's not for the meek or the mild-hearted.
I am neither, but it's early. 2nd and 10. Manning going to lob this one to the end zone for Randall, and it's incomplete. Buster Screen covering on the play. Eli told us he's had his conversations. In fact, he met with Ruben Randall, just the 2 of them on Thursday, just going over some things.
Well, that time you hope that the defender doesn't see the football. And in this case, that's not the issue. Buster Skrine does a really good job of knowing where the football is, and he actually elevates. He becomes the receiver, and Ruben Randall had to become the defender and break up an interception.
3rd and 10. Manning running out of time over the middle. It's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Victor Cruz. He was hit as the ball arrived by Dimitri Patterson.
I'll say this about the Cleveland secondary. They are contesting these passes. A lot of their coverage has been pretty good. And Patterson this time he can't play the football, so he plays the body. And he comes right through Victor Cruz and knocks that thing away.
Lawrence Tynes.
Well, the Giants were short a guy. They only had 10 guys out on the field.
29-yard field goal is good. Tynes now 12 out of 12 inside the 50-yard line this season. Giants' answer was 3, 17-10 Browns.
NFL on CBS is sponsored by Autotrader.com. Now compare new and used cars and find the best deal on Autotrader.com. Scott Trade. See for yourself why so many investors are saying I'm with Scott Trade. And by Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
.646 to play in the first half. It's a 1-touchdown lead for the Cleveland Browns, and that's Josh Cribb. As dangerous a kick returner as there is in the NFL. He'll return this one. He will not run it out from 8 yards deep in the end zone. So the Browns will start from their own 20-yard line, and Brandon Weeden will go back to work on offense right after this. We said at the very top of the day, Dan, these Cleveland Browns are young.
They are very young. And what's interesting about this, though, look at the Eagles. Rams, Browns, Dolphins, all in a rebuilding mode. The Eagles at 3-1, you think of them as a very veteran team. Kind of surprising to see who they rank league-wide as far as being young.
First down, Weeden with time, rolling, throws, sideline, and we get a flag on this side of the field.
Well, you said Brandon Weeden had time. He had an abundance of time.
You're not supposed to get that kind of time against the Giant front four.
No, you're not.
Illegal use of hands to the face. Defense, number 20. It's a 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's on Prince Amukamara, trying to guard Josh Gordon. While we have a moment, get live score updates for all of your favorite teams with the new CBS Sportcaster app. Available on select devices. Visit cbssports.com/mobile or text SCORE to 42777 to get the free app.
Well, that penalty gives them a first down, but the big part of that first, where was the Giants' pass rush?
3 running backs with Weeden. And here comes Richardson. Richardson shakes the tackler. Look at him move the body across the 25 to about the 27-yard line.
Well, Joe Thomas, the left tackle, actually acted like it was a pass play. He's dropping back in pass protection. Look at him give ground here. Now he gets, Jason Pierre-Paul drives him back a little bit, but that's not the way you'd expect the guy to come off the ball on a running play. I got to wonder if there was some confusion there. Good job by Jason Pierre-Paul, though, forcing the issue, getting upfield.
2nd and 8. Out to the side, and Richardson dropped the football, and it's ruled incomplete. Ruled forward pass and incomplete. But we were just talking with Trent last night about his receiving abilities, weren't we?
Well, and he was a good receiver at Alabama. He's not the least bit surprised, but that was a very good delivery from Brandon Weeden and a rare drop by Richardson. And now the crowd wants to see some action out of this front four.
Chris Obanaya in the backfield, 3rd and 8. throws, and look at the running room for Obadiah. With a blocker in front, 45, midfield, 40, deep into Giant territory to about the 34-yard line. That is a 38-yard pickup and a first down.
And again, Brandon Weeden showing that he's got some athleticism. And take a look. Laval out in front. Look at the blocking. Benjamin Watson all the way downfield. Josh Gordon. And this is making something out of nothing. In fact, it's making a lot of something out of not very much.
This is Richardson. Richardson bounces to the outside.
I'm amazed how often Trent Richardson is bouncing to the edge and getting outside containment on the Giants. I mean, that's his automatic move now, is bouncing it to the outside, and he's finding success out there. Remember earlier in the week, he saw the Eagles do that, and he came out and said it publicly. I think we'll be able to get the edges as well, and so far they are.
Richardson squeezes through to about the 25. He said so, and O.C. Umenyiora said something to the effect of, yeah, well, come and try.
Well, O.C. said, well, if there's some candy out here, come and get it. We'll be waiting for you. Right now, Richardson, unfortunately for the Giants, is averaging over 5 yards a carry. Came into the game averaging about 3.5 a carry. He's averaging over 5 so far here in the first half.
Obadiah into the backfield on 3rd and 1. Weeden rolling. Under pressure, throws, intercepted, picked off by Stevie Brown. Brown up the sideline and knocked out of bounds at about the 40-yard line.
Well, Brandon Weeden has to make a decision with a Giant defender coming right at him. He's going to get it to Josh Gordon, but that ball was high and behind him. Gordon had no play on it whatsoever. And that was the first mistake of the game by Brandon Weeden. And Stevie Brown makes him pay for it.
The ball at the Cleveland 40-yard line. Terrific operating room for Manning in the offense. All along, far side of the field. Caught by Ruben Randall. Inside the 5, it'll be 1st and goal. What a terrific fake in the backfield by Eli Manning.
Well, the rookie Ruben Randall had 1 catch coming into today's game, and I know everyone here at MetLife Stadium is hoping that they're watching this kid's coming out party, because Eli is going to him early and often, his 5th reception of the game. And the Giants are looking to capitalize in a hurry on that Weeden interception.
Hey, that's the wheel. That's the free safety. Over.
Eli changing everything up at the line.
Bradshaw right up the middle. Touchdown.
Outstanding blocking up front. Look at that crease off left guard, and unchallenged into the end zone is Ahmad Bradshaw. Great double team there by Boss and Booth, and then Boss comes off on DeQuell Jackson, the middle linebacker, gets to the 2nd level, and that's making it look easy.
Times extra point is good, and with 2:52 to play in the first half, the Giants pull even. Stevie Brown with the interception, returned it all the way to the 40. Didn't take Eli Manning long to find the end zone. Ahmad Bradshaw scoring the touchdown. We're tied at 17.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. And by Applebee's. Try Applebee's new Southwest Flavors 2 for $20 menu all season long. See you tomorrow.
That's Josh Cribbs, number 16. His participation in this game was in question right up until late this week.
But he was actually knocked out of their game with Baltimore. He was unconscious for a few seconds on the field. And I think it's just pretty remarkable that he rebounded, passed all the concussion protocol tests, and is back on the field.
And he'll get a chance to return this one at the goal line. Hit. Shakes the tackler. Still on his feet. Caught from behind. Lost the football. Picked up by the Giants. Stevie Brown.
Josh Cribbs did not feel the pressure coming from behind. I think it was Will Hill that gets the strip. But Josh Cribbs thought he was out in the open. Doesn't have eyes in the back of his head. Watch it right here. He doesn't feel the pressure. And there is Will Hill that comes in with the tomahawk and strips the football. Hill goes right for it, pulls down the arm with the football. What an outstanding play by Will Hill. And Josh Cribbs is looking in front of him, doesn't sense that there is a Giants player behind him, and pays the price for it.
And with 2:37 to play, Eli Manning in prime position now, just inside the 30-yard line. Manning looking down the sideline. Incomplete. Ruben Randall in and out of his arms.
Now, Ruben Randall tapped himself on the chest and said, "That's on me." Yes, it most certainly is. You can see right breaking the outside, Sheldon Brown doesn't have any idea where the football is. Only Eli Manning and Ruben Randall know where it is, and that's pretty easy pitch and catch.
I told you earlier, Eli told us that he met with Ruben just one-on-one, saying he wants him reacting instead of thinking out there. This is Bradshaw. Bradshaw stacked up at about the 28-yard line.
Well, what they've done with Ruben Randall, Greg, is that they've put him in a position where he's just going to run a route. He's not running option routes where he's adjusting it based on his perceived defensive coverage. I mean, they're calling his pattern in the huddle, and that is what he's going to run come you-know-what or high water.
Well, Jackson slow to get up, and he will leave the field for at least a play, replaced by L.J. Fort, the rookie out of Northern Iowa.
And the Browns suffer greatly without DeQuell Jackson on the field. And he comes into this game with a couple interceptions. He's got 3 sacks. He calls the defense. I mean, he is everything to the Browns in the middle.
And it looks like we'll get to the 2-minute warning before we get another snap off.
And the Giants still have all 3 of their timeouts. That's what's important here. They've got plenty of time and timeouts.
So when we come back, the Giants will be at the Cleveland 27-yard line looking to break a 17-17 tie. Josh Cribbs on the hook with his latest turnover. Giants with 3 timeouts remaining, 2 minutes on the clock.
Hey, beat, freeze the line, beat, freeze the line. Hard, tonight, hot.
Manning steps up, penalty markers fly. That pass is complete to Bennett. Bennett to the 10.
Well, I think the Browns were across the line of scrimmage at the snap, so this play should stand for the Giants. Great job by Eli Manning with that long snap count. It really got the Browns off balance.
Offside. Defense, number 97. That penalty's declined. Yardage is enough for a first down.
The ball sheared.
Great discipline by the Giants, staying still up front because Eli Manning was marking and changing, and a long snap count got sheared to jump. That's Dick Duran, the defensive coordinator. He's in his 2nd year in Cleveland, former head coach of both the Buffalo Bills and the Bears.
First and goal for the Giants. Bradshaw. Stutter step. Gets him 2, maybe 3 yards. It's about the 7.5-yard line.
A lot of times there's just a limit to how many times you can change direction, especially in close quarters there as you're getting close to the goal line. But ever since he opened up with a fumble to start this game, you can't question the effort and the intensity put forth by Ahmad Bradshaw.
He's better, don't you think?
Yeah, he is. He's running with a purpose.
Second and goal.
the second time down by the goal line in the red zone that Eli has just frozen the Browns with play action. And that's exactly what happened here. Even though the secondary of the Browns, that's just a complete mistake on their part. Dimitri Patterson, for some reason, just stands there and watches Victor Cruz run to the corner.
Coming into this game, the Giants had scored just 1 touchdown off of 8 takeaways. Now they've scored 2 off of 2 takeaways.
Well, well, hold on a second. I think Victor Cruz is at the top. Yep. Excuse me there for a second. Victor Cruz is at the top. And watch this. He's just going to be completely obviously, he was in the slot. My mistake. Victor Cruz was in the slot. And again, just completely disregarded by the Browns secondary. That's just a complete whiff on the part of the Cleveland secondary. And you would think that given the state of who's hurt for the Giants and their receiving corps, the one guy you would never lose track of would be Victor Cruz. And yet they did.
So the Giants enjoy their first lead of the afternoon with 1:10 to play here in the first half.
And considering that they were down 14-0, it's quite a comeback.
So Josh Cribbs will give it another go. He has 8 career kickoff returns for touchdowns, 3 career punt returns for TDs.
That won't fly.
Those 2 turnovers have helped the Giants score 14 points in the last minute 42 seconds.
An interception and then a fumbled kickoff return.
And Cribbs will return this one from about 8 yards deep. Brought down across the 15 at about the 17-yard line while we have a moment. Coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report, JB, Dan, Shannon, Boomer, Coach Bill Cowher will have all the latest NFL scores and highlights coming up on the Verizon Halftime Report. Highlights from this first half will pretty much cover up the entire halftime show.
Well, there has certainly been a lot of offense. 3 turnovers. No sacks.
Outside. Making that catch? No, incomplete. Josh Gordon with the dive. Ruled incomplete on the sideline. Now the officials are talking about it.
Yeah, the officials are discussing it.
Incomplete, they say.
He does a great job of controlling the football. But you can see as the ball hits the ground, you've got to have complete control of it if it touches the ground, and he did not. That ball clearly moved in his hands after it hit the turf.
Did a good job of keeping his feet in there.
It was a heck of an effort.
Richardson, straight ahead. Penalty marker flies, and Richardson still on his feet, fights his way across the 25 to about the 27.
This guy is tough to get on the ground. I think we're seeing why Trent Richardson went as high as he did in the draft. This guy is, he is not going down easily.
Clock showing 50 seconds to play here in the first half. And we still discuss the flag.
They keep throwing the flag closer to the Browns. That's about the 3rd time that flag has been picked up and moved back.
Personal foul, illegal crackback block. Offense number 10. The penalty is half the distance from the goal line from the spot of the foul. Still second down.
Jordan Norwood, the second-year wide receiver out of Penn State, who was inactive the first 2 games of this season, pressed into service. So now the line of scrimmage just outside the 10-yard line. They need the 27-yard line for a first down. Weeden. Richardson. Too many tackles. More penalty flags.
I think he got a clip, or or a block, certainly a block from behind, I think it would. One of the Giants was there in a great position to tackle Richardson, and then he gets blocked from behind.
Illegal block in the back. Offense, number 55. At least half the distance to the goal line. Still second down.
That's the center, Alex Mack.
And it's his job to get up in front of the screen and provide the block that springs the ball carrier, but that was pretty obvious. A couple officials threw that flag.
Remember, the Giants with 3 timeouts remaining.
And I would think they'd use one of them right here after this play.
Richardson. Kicked from behind just as he crosses the 10 out to about the 12. And we get a timeout called by the Giants. 35 seconds on the clock. While we have a moment. Tonight on 60 Minutes, what Chinese company you've never heard of worries the American government the most? Tonight on 60 Minutes, only CBS.
Well, if the Giants are successful here in not giving up a first down, they can burn another timeout. And Eli Manning will have a chance to run a play or two and see if he can't get Lawrence Tynes in some kind of field goal range.
You know, dating back to last season, Dan, these Browns have lost 10 in a row, but they're 0-4 this year. It's not as if they've been blown out. They've been in the games that they've played.
Well, they lose their opener to Philadelphia by 1 point. Then it's just a touchdown loss on the road at Cincinnati. Buffalo beats them by 10. And then Baltimore, anybody who watched that game, even though they lost by a touchdown, they played the Ravens tough. On the road in Baltimore.
3rd and 15. Out here to Norwood. Norwood wrapped up at the 15-yard line.
And a quick timeout for the New York Giants and a punting situation for Cleveland.
Prince Amukamara making the play. Right up on the line of scrimmage. So each team now with 1 timeout remaining, 28 seconds on the clock. And that's Ruben Randall. Back for the upcoming kick from Reggie Hodgins.
Question now for the special teams unit of the Giants. Do we try to set up a return for field position, or do we go for the monster play and go for the block?
Hodgins will get this one away from inside the 10. Here come the Giants. Nice kick by Hodgins. Randall. He eludes a tackler at the 32. And that tackler comes back and gets him at the 40.
Buster Screen.
Buster's last name looks like it should be Scrine.
It is. It's S-K-R-I-N-E. And that time, his middle name was Hustle. Because he was the first guy down, hit the ground, and came back, got right up and came back in and made the tackle.
Special teams coaches like that.
Yes, they sure do. Good job by Buster Screen.
17 seconds to play, 1st and 10, 1 timeout remaining for each team. Manning going to give it to Bradshaw. Bradshaw with running room, midfield to about the 46-yard line. And they call timeout with 10 seconds to play.
Well, it's been a busy first half. The ball thrown behind. Stevie Brown gets the interception. This puts the Giants in great position. Ahmad Bradshaw runs it in. Then right after that, Josh Cribbs on his kickoff return. He's forced into a fumble, and then they come right back. Victor Cruz left wide open in the Cleveland secondary. And the Giants, who were behind early in this game, check it out, their last 4 possessions, 3 touchdowns and a field goal. They've got 14 points off turnovers. The Browns have 7 of their own after the Bradshaw fumble.
Eli Going to throw this one down. It's incomplete and a penalty marker.
Oh, boy. Let's see if this goes against the Browns.
Your guy, Buster Screen, was down there along with Usama Young.
And this is going to put Tynes in great
Pass
position.
interference. Defense, number 22. Ball we placed in the spot of foul. Automatic first down.
Wow, what a costly penalty. A potential costly penalty.
And that's going to give Lawrence Tynes a shot.
They were not in field goal. They weren't even close to it. And this
will be from about 40 yards out.
That was if they convert here, well, it was a bad mistake either way.
So with 4 seconds remaining. And that penalty just kills the Browns at the end of the first half here.
Talk about putting a bad taste in your mouth on the way into halftime.
Pat Shurmur not a happy camper as he goes to the locker room. That's the end of the first half. 27-17 Giants. The Verizon halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. Manning throwing. Touchdown. Victor Cruz. Richardson again. Touchdown Browns. Bradshaw right up the middle. Touchdown. Back in East Rutherford, New Jersey, there is the halftime score as we get set for the start of the third quarter. 27-17 Giants lead the Cleveland Browns, and time now for the Droid Razor M play presented by Motorola.
Well, it all starts with play action, and because Bradshaw had been running the ball so well, but then Victor Cruz wide open in the Cleveland end zone for his second touchdown reception of the first half, but it has been Eli Manning has been putting on a show throwing the football, and who would have guessed 44 total points already in the first half.
Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf back with you, and this is about the time of day where we say, well, remember, there are 2 halves to every football game. I feel like we've seen 2 halves just in the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, because of the way Cleveland started and then the way the Giants came back and just scored basically on every possession, and then they got the field goal. That was a 3-point gift right at the end of the first half. Now you'd think the pressure is going to be on the young Cleveland quarterback, and when I say young, I'm talking about in terms of experience, now facing this front 4 of the Giants. Can they put pressure on Brandon Weeden? They haven't done much of it so far, Greg.
Well, let's see what the Browns can do. They will have possession right off the bat. Josh Cribbs, one of those guilty of a first half turnover on the receiving end of this kick. And he'll run this one out 2 yards deep in the end zone. 15, 20, out across the 25 to about the 26, maybe 26 and a half yard line. Mark Herzlich, Michael Coe making the stop as you look at some first half numbers weighted heavily in favor of the Giants.
Well, a lot of yardage by both teams. The Browns with 228, the Giants with 263, but you see, you're right, 21 points scored in that first half off turnovers, but 6 penalties for the Browns. When you're young, when you're 0-4, when you're the underdog, you can't afford a half a dozen penalties in a half.
Trent Richardson, who had 67 yards rushing in the first half, the deep back, quick pass, the slant, and that's complete out to about the 35-yard line. Jordan Norwood on the reception.
Mr. Gumbel, I will say this, though. Brandon Weeden, in that first half, he had the mistake when he threw behind Josh Gordon and Stevie Brown picked him off. But all in all, there's a lot to like about the way he played.
There is a lot to like about this young Cleveland Browns team. This is Richardson.
Starting with that guy.
And Justin Tuck said no.
Well, that's one of the few times that the first guy actually got Trent Richardson to the ground, and Justin Tuck got him around the legs, and he was not letting go.
Justin Tuck is one of those who this week has been pointing the finger at himself among the Giants, saying, I'm one of those guys who has to get things started.
Well, they set the bar pretty high for themselves. And, you know, they came into this game with 8 sacks in the first 4 games. And you know, only 5.5 of those were by the defensive line. And they just expect more than that. And
Third and 3.
And there are no sacks in this game so far by either team.
Weeden with time. Out to the sideline, diving for first down yardage is Abanaya. Let's see where they spot it. Right at that first down marker.
Antrell Roll with a a good tackle out there. The effort. Roll gets in there and takes the leg, gets both legs. You saw the knee was down. There was a long stretch after his knee was already down.
And the measurement as the ball sits there now.
I'd like to look at that one more time. That he may not
short.
have been that close.
Oh, I don't think he was. I think his knee was down a couple of yards further back.
Watch where his knee touches. Where is the football? Right there. The ball. That's all the farther you get. And it looks to me like he got at least another 3 feet in the official spot, at least 2 feet.
So they're going to go for it here on 4th down. And Tom Coughlin going to throw the challenge flag on it.
Yeah, Tom, and I think that's a good challenge on Coughlin's part, because I think he's going to pick up a couple feet. I think this is going to be closer to a full yard needed.
This might be a good example of the call coming in from upstairs, Dan.
Right. And keep in mind that when it's in relationship, the spot in relationship to a first down is reviewable.
But Tom is not looking all that happy about things.
New York attempted to challenge the play. However, this ruling on the field is not a challengeable situation. It'll be 4th down at the spot that it was placed previously.
I guess it would have had to have actually been ruled a first down for it to be challengeable. So it's a curious little quirk in the rule.
You saw cornerback Dimitri Patterson being carted off the field. We'll check on him. Meanwhile, 4th and 1. And the Giants stack up the middle, and Weeden going to keep it. And gets a little help from behind.
Yeah, it looked like the secondary surge was enough for the first down.
So it's 1st down.
And a gutsy move there by Pat Shurmur in his own territory. And, you know, that's one of the luxuries, if there are any luxuries, being 0-4.
Well, you got to lose.
That's exactly right. I don't think anybody wants to be 0-4, but you can afford to do that every now and then.
Here comes Richards, left side. What a great use of blocks. Look at it, almost to midfield. He can scoot. Let's get in another update from New York. JB and Boomer, guys.
Reggie Bush shifting gears.
How about afterburners, JB? He goes to the left side, he sees the hole, and bam, right through the goal line, 14-6. Dolphins over the Bengals, start of the 3rd period.
Hey, Boom, Dan Deerdorf and I used to be able to run that fast. Back to Greg.
And ever you may be.
JB, thank you for the used to.
From midfield. End around, double. Reverse. Norwood. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage, and Trell Roll was there.
Well, you don't see the old double reverse very often anymore. This is the old draw it up in the dirt. First to Cribbs, and then he just pitches it back to Norwood and Trell Roll. Fantastic job, though, honoring his contained responsibilities. Antrell Roll sets the edge, can't be blocked. Brandon Weeden tries to get him down. The veteran safety says, hey, I've seen that before.
And who had better blocks for him on that. On 2nd and 9, Weeden batted the line of scrimmage, incomplete.
Wow, Joe Thomas at left tackle. Jason Pierre-Paul is getting nowhere against the all-pro left tackle. Now that is how you finish a guy off. Put him on his back.
It looked like Marcus Kuhn got the hand on that one, and it's 3rd and 9.
I thought the Giants would spend more time with Jason Pierre-Paul going against the rookie on the other side, which is where he is now against Mitchell Schwartz.
Weeden throwing, complete. That's not nearly enough for a first down, though. Norwood to the 45.
Jason Pierre-Paul didn't have any luck on the other side going against the rookie, Mitchell Schwartz. He goes to the inside, and Schwartz puts him on the ground again.
The spotlight is on Jason Pierre-Paul because this is a young man who had 16 and a half sacks a season ago. 1.5 this year. Randall inside his own 10 for the punt. And this one will bounce at the 10 and well covered down at the 5-yard line by Buster Screen. So Eli and the Giants will start from their own 5-yard line when we come back to East Rutherford, New Jersey in just a moment. Eli and the Giants start from their own 5-yard line. 10:19 to play in the third quarter.
3-6 to Mike. 3-6 to Mike. Set. 180.
This is Ahmad Bradshaw straight ahead for maybe a yard against a defense that has been continuing to take a beating here. If you look at Tom Coughlin of the Giants.
And he's got to be pleased with the way his offense kicked it into gear. Right now for the Cleveland Browns, so middle linebacker DeQuell Jackson has been ruled out for the rest of the game. That's a big loss for Pat Shurmur's defense. We talked in the first half about how he's the signal caller, the leading tackler. He's everything in there. And a rookie now has had to take his place, L.J. Fort.
And Dimitri Patterson is gone with an ankle injury. His return is questionable. Manning, complete. Close to the 15-yard line. Looks to be about half a yard short of a first down. Dominic Hickson. That's L.J. Fort, rookie free agent linebacker out of Northern Iowa.
And keep in mind now when you're watching these receivers of the New York Giants work, that Ramses Barton is out of this game with a concussion. Hakeem Nicks is missing his third consecutive game because of a left knee problem.
On 3rd and 1, Bradshaw looking for the first down and has it out to about the 18. Ataba Rubin with the stop.
But what has happened with all the attention being paid to Victor Cruz, the beneficiaries of that are Ruben Randall and Dominic Hickson. And they both have 5 receptions each. And one thing about Eli Manning, the open guy gets the ball. He's not going to force it to Victor Cruz. Of course, Cruz has made the most of those 3 catches, and 2 of them are for touchdowns.
Manning on the quick slant. And Ruben Randall is jumped by Sheldon Brown as he makes the catch.
Very descriptive.
Thank you.
Take a look at the way that Eli Manning is distributing the football. Randall now, after that last one, takes the lead with a half a dozen. Martellus Bennett, that he came back into the game after hyperextending his knee the way he did early in this game. That's awfully impressive.
Pretty scary looking injury.
I thought he was hurt. I thought he was hurt badly.
2nd and 6. And this is Bradshaw. He's been running hard all day long. Look at him go up the sideline and bounced out of bounds.
And you know what, Greg? He gets around the corner because of a block by Martellus Bennett. We're talking about Bennett. He gets the block right on the edge as he pins Jaquay Parker to the inside. And then David Boss gets around the corner, gets a good block. And there's the fullback. Hynoski gets a good block. Wow, that is just superbly done by the guys in blue.
That'll look really good drawn up on Monday.
It started, though, with the tight end getting the block at the point of attack. When you get a tight end that can block a defensive end, you've got it going.
Manning with time now throws complete to the 35. Bennett on the receiving end. And Scott Fujita right there to meet him.
And he's still, you know, he looks like he's walking slowly. There is no way that knee of his doesn't hurt. He's got a little bit of a limp as he goes back to the huddle. And Martellus Bennett he's got to be showing his new Giants teammates that he's a tough guy.
numbers, meanwhile.
Good day, fight. Set.
Ahmad Bradshaw, 18 carries, 124 yards. Adding to it, inside the 30 to the 28-yard line and a first down.
Well, on this drive, the offensive line of the Giants is starting to assert themselves.
Bradshaw only had one 100-yard rushing game over the past 2 seasons.
Well,
Last year against Buffalo.
All the talk concerning the Giants was the fact that other teams had run the football on them, notably the Eagles had put 191 up against them. Now it's the Giants running attack that's going to page one.
Here's Bradshaw again. Tripped up before he got to the line of scrimmage.
He just tripped over David Boss, his center.
We were talking with Eli about David Boss. David Boss has the sore right hand that swelled up on him and had a few problems with the snap last week.
Well, he shot 3 low snaps back to Eli. It's really an elbow problem that Boss has that causes swelling in his hand. You can see how he's got that whole right arm wrapped up. The elbow sends the swelling down to the hand, and he just couldn't get a good grip on the football.
On 2nd and 10, Manning going for the end zone. Cruz, touchdown!
You know what? Talk about being patient. You're hammering the football. You're running the football really effectively. And then you just classically take your shot. And that's what Kevin Gilbride and this offense did. No pass rush at all from the Browns. And Victor Cruz just really puts a good move downfield on Trevin Wade. And he's got him by a good 2 yards, and you couldn't throw it any better than that.
And look left, through right. Cruz with his 3rd touchdown catch of the day, his 5th of the season. Eli with 7 more on the board, and the Giants are rolling.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. And by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Worth keeping in mind that at one point in this game, the Cleveland Browns led 17-7, but the Giants have scored on their last 6 drives, 4 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and they've doubled up on the Browns 34-17 with 5:06 to play here in the 3rd. Josh Cribb. Line drive, Cribbs from about 5 yards deep in the end zone. On his way up the near sideline. Cutting it back, Cribb. Grabbed just inside the 30-yard line by Mark Herzlich, who saved the touchdown. And that's how explosive number 16 can be.
Well, he was very patient in following his blocking. And right there you can see one missed tackle, but then it's just a question. Look at the patience. Now Tynes did his job, forcing him back into the middle of the field. And Mark Herzlich, who has been a special teams maven in his couple years in the league, that was a great hustle play on his part.
74-yard return, first down, Browns at the Giants 30. Weeden on the slant, incomplete through the hands of Greg Little, who has been under fire for the dropped passes that he's had.
Well, he had a lot of drop passes last year in his rookie season. Take a look at this one. That is certainly a catchable ball. Now Corey Webster is right there with him and has a hand on it, but still that was a ball that it was a pretty good throw from Weeden. A lot of success early, and since then, zilch.
2nd and 10. Deep drop for Weeden. Richardson fights his way to about the 25. Trouble in Redskin land. JB and Boomer.
Greg and Dan, I think RG3 will learn to live another day.
I want to be running in the NFL, JB. He runs to the right. Take a look at this. His feet come out from under him. and he slides, but Sean Weatherspoon just lays him out right here. This was a vicious hit. He's being checked on the sideline as we're talking, and he gets stitches right there in his chin, and he's in the locker room.
I think he'll learn defensive players hit. Greg and Dan.
All right, guys, thank you. 3rd and 4 for the Browns. Weeden, complete and tripped up short of first down yardage is Benjamin Watson. Corey Webster making the play.
Textbook by Corey Webster. And you're all by yourself out there. It's more of a block than a tackle. He doesn't use his arms, but he goes in and he takes away the legs of Benjamin Watson. Corey Webster has been some pro.
Here's Phil Dawson from 41 yards out.
Keep in mind, he's playing with a broken hand as well.
And that is good. So just under 3.5 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Field goal for the Browns, 34-20 Giants. Browns get a field goal, but you get the distinct feeling that field goals just aren't going to do it the rest of the way here against the New York Giants. Under 3.5 to play in the 3rd, 34-20 as you look at Joe Thomas, the fine left tackle for the Cleveland Browns.
When you invest the 3rd pick of the draft in a player, you better get value for that pick, and the Browns certainly got it in Joe Thomas. 5 years in the league, 5 Pro Bowls, early in year number 6, and there's no reason to think he won't be there again.
David Wilson deep. And Wilson will run this one out of the end zone. Tripped up just across the 15-yard line to the 17. We'll take a timeout. Manning and the offense back to work after this.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Charles Schwab. Let's talk about giving your portfolio a better chance to grow. Talk to Chuck. And by Toyota Care, caring for you and your car.
As the Giants approach the line of scrimmage, word on Andre Brown, whose head hit the turf hard in the first half, is that with a head injury, he will not return today.
Hey, alert! Finish freeze the mic! That's it! 518!
Manning gonna throw. Out to the side, Bradshaw. And Bradshaw just adding to his mileage today. Out to about the 30-yard line and a first down. Last week, the replacement refs made news with an in-studio call. This week, don't miss New York Giants legend Lawrence Taylor plus comedian and NFL enthusiast Bill Burr as they join Phil, Chris, and JB inside the NFL Wednesdays only on Showtime. Mr. Bradshaw is going to sleep well tonight, isn't he, Dan?
Well, with Andre Brown being hurt, David Wilson is the guy who could give him a breather.
Manning over the middle, in and out of the hand of Dominic Hickson. Didn't look like that ball got through to him cleanly.
No, that was through a lot of traffic.
Buster Screen was one of those creating havoc.
Again, Eli Manning, just no pressure whatsoever, able to step into it. Might have been just a shade behind Hickson.
Kevin Gilbride, the offensive coordinator.
You know, all 9 years that Eli Manning has been in the league, he has been working with Kevin Gilbride. What a luxury that is, and what a recipe for success that is.
518!
Manning going to go deep down the far sideline. Here's the man, and it's overthrown. Dominic Hickson had a step on Sheldon Brown.
Well, it was over, but it was also out of bounds. I don't think that Hickson could have caught that ball. And again, Eli, if you're going to make a mistake, you know, you don't underthrow this. But I don't think he could have caught that ball and kept his feet in bounds unless his legs were about 12 feet long. But Kevin Gilbride and Eli, as Kevin was telling us the other day, they've gotten to the point now where they just finish each other's sentences.
Manning underneath to Randall. Spins down. Jarrell Jernigan making his first catch of the day.
And the Browns gladly give them that because it brings up a punting situation. So a rare opportunity for the Browns to force a Giants punt here lately.
Dan, when's the last time you saw a Giants drive not in on the scoreboard?
It was back in the first quarter, I think. Now, if this is on the Browns, I believe that's enough yardage to give them the first down. It looked like Tank Carter was, let's see if he was the guilty party.
Offsides. Defense, number 94, unabated to the punter. 5-yard penalty is enough for a first down.
The rookie from TCU.
And that was a boneheaded mistake right there. He tried like the devil to get back across the line. He was way over. What a gift. Like things aren't going bad enough. That's where you look for that trap door where you could just open up the turf, crawl down in it, and pull it up over your head.
See what Eli does with the new opportunity. Quick pass. That's complete to Bear Pasco. And Pasco out to about the 49.
You know, that pass right there used to be a staple of every NFL offense. If you saw the defenders just giving your tight end that much room, you just, you took the easy yardage and just tossed it to him. It's a lot of wear and tear on your tight end because he ends up taking at least 2 hits. There's always a linebacker and a safety going to come in on the play, and that's exactly what happened there. But you know what? 7 yards on first down. Good stuff.
Yeah. Easy.
Ahmad Bradshaw.
Let's go. Gun. Let's go.
131 yards rushing on the day. Quick pass to the far side. That's a little too high for Cruz to handle.
Oh, they had a nice bubble screen set up out there. Cruz was going to come back to the inside. He had a couple blockers out in front of him. He's coming in behind his blockers, and that ball was a little higher than I think he would have wanted, but it was still pretty catchable. I think Eli would have liked that to maybe be 6 inches lower, a foot lower, but that was still a catchable ball.
So a
3rd and 3 for Manning and the Giants. And incomplete.
Oh, no flag. Wow, Buster
Screen looked like he had a good handle on Ruben Randall.
Tom Coughlin can't believe it. Look at him grabbing the jersey. Whoa. I don't know how they missed that one. That was apparent to everyone, and especially to Eli Manning. Buster Screen really got away with one there.
So the dangerous returner Cribs standing inside is 10. And this one will bounce. Cribs has it. Breaks a tackle, breaks another, forward to about the 20-yard line.
And smart move by Cribs. He saved the Browns a lot of yardage there and gave them decent field position.
Hey, if you haven't had your fill of Mannings for the day, and who does ever, look what's coming up next. Peyton Manning and the Broncos against Tom Brady and the Pats, or the Bills and the Niners, or the Titans and the Vikings. Check your local listings. But it's going to be Peyton versus Tom Brady.
That is good stuff. Good stuff. Of course, the Patriots had a lot of success against the Colts. They just owned them.
Josh Cribbs in the lineup as a wide receiver. Weeden rolling, throwing. Richardson.
I'll say one thing about Trent Richardson. Give this kid credit. The sideline is right there. Pretty much hemmed in. He could step out and take the easy way out of it. And nope, he's going to come back into the field of play and make contact with somebody.
Let me ask you this, Dan. How many times in our conversation with Brandon Weeden last night did he mention check down?
Yep, and that's what they work with him every day. And it's a young quarterback. A young quarterback locks onto his primary receiver and has a hard time moving off him.
Weeden throwing over the middle, incomplete. Threw into a little traffic intended for Benjamin Watson, and we come to the end of the third quarter. 34-20, Giants in the lead. We're coming back to East Rutherford after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS, the home of Super Bowl 47. Tom Coughlin 15 minutes away from tying Bill Parcells for second most regular season wins among Giants coaches. As we start the fourth quarter, 3rd and 6. From behind, he got hit. Ball is loose. And now ruled incomplete pass. O.C. Umenyiora coming up behind Brandon Weeden.
Clete Blakeman, the referee, he comes in. It's his call, and he rules it an incomplete pass. That was really close. Umenyiora coming around from behind. But that was a good call by the referee. Weeden had started his hand forward before he got hit.
Ruben Randall is deep. Randall will let it bounce, and it takes a Cleveland roll inside the 25-yard line to about the 21. Boy, you've noticed all the pink out and about. This is the 4th year of the NFL's A Crucial Catch campaign, which supports the American Cancer Society. The campaign's main goal to raise awareness around the importance of annual screenings, especially for women over the age of 40. In 2011 alone, the NFL's A Crucial Catch campaign reached more than 151 million viewers, including 58 million women age 18 and older.
Well, Ahmad Bradshaw has been the real workhorse for the Giants today. It would be great if David Wilson had the confidence of the coaches where he could at least give him a breather every now and then.
Here comes Bradshaw. Changes direction. Eluding another tackle and tripped up by Usama Young. Once again, JB and Boomer in New York.
Boomer, look at this pass from Matt Ryan.
What a great pass and what a great catch by Julio Jones. Tippy toes in the end zone. Bad news for the Washington Redskins, however. RG3 shaken up, still in the locker room. Kirk Cousins, a fellow rookie who was drafted in the same draft as RG3, now in at quarterback for Washington.
Greg, Dan.
Oh, what a catch by Julio Jones.
Oh, how good is he?
On 2nd and 10, Manning to throw. Bradshaw wrapped up on the far side. He has had a really, really busy and productive day.
Well, it got off to a terrible start because Ahmad Bradshaw fumbles the football, hit by his own man, Chris Ding, and the Browns scored. But then did he really come back? He scores a touchdown there, and then behind great blocking, he gets on the edge, down the sideline, and Ahmad Bradshaw, 131 yards rushing, another 3 receptions for another 27, 158 yards total offense. Nice day so far, just the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Manning steps up, gonna go deep. Caught and dropped. Intercepted. Usama Young grabbed the bobble. Brings it back inside the 35, inside the 30 to the 27.
Victor Cruz has the ball. It looks like it's going to be watch this. He makes the catch, even though he's interfered with, quite frankly. Sheldon Brown gets his hand in there a little early. That's interference. Sheldon Brown not flagged for the interference, and he keeps that right hand in there and flicks it away right to Usama Young.
So Weeden with a first down at the 27. Richardson going nowhere. Will Hill charging up the middle, made the stop. Let's take a look.
Yep, Sheldon Brown gets away with this. He comes in, and that is just interference all the way. And it works out great for the Cleveland Browns, but that should have been called. That should have been called. And that's what Eli's saying. Where's the flag?
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. Movement up front. Looks like the rookie Mitchell Schwartz at right tackle.
I know we're watching that in super slow motion.
Offense,
bang,
number 72. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
But that was still early by Sheldon Brown. Any way you look at it, that was interference. Mitchell Schwartz, the right tackle, has played a pretty good football game today.
That offensive line has played pretty
yes,
well.
They have. There still hasn't been a sack in this game by either team.
Second and 18. Weeden over the middle to Richardson, and Richardson to about the 30. Clock continues to move, 11:55 to play.
Brandon Weeden enjoying fantastic pass protection. And look at the concentration by Richardson. He caught that mostly by feel. He really didn't even have his eyes on that football. Pinned it up against his helmet and still made the catch.
Now Weeden needs the 17-yard line for a first down. Lots of movement on the offensive line, and this is on the Browns.
False start. Offense, number 66. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
During the last timeout, Dan, I mentioned to you the Browns are a young team, and they're playing a little bit like a young team.
Yeah, right now they are. That's Sean Laval, the right guard. Third-year guy. He just rocked out of there just a little bit early. Jason Pierre-Paul this time is going to line up across from the rookie, Mitchell Schwartz. There he is right here.
Abenaya in the backfield. And more flags fly.
Giants are offside.
Weeden, as is Abenaya, and Abenaya out of bounds close to the 20-yard line.
Looked like Osi Umenyiora was across the line. Looked like both the edge guys jumped. Looked like Umenyiora was the farthest across.
You know, pink is the official color for the day, but we've seen a fair share of yellow, haven't we?
And they want to know what Pat Shurmur wants to do, because if you accept the penalty, you get third down over. They didn't have enough yardage for the first.
Offside. Defense, number 72. Is in the neutral zone at the snap. It'll be that 5-yard penalty is declined. The result of the play leaves fourth down.
The Browns are going to take the yardage, even though it brings up fourth down. You saw there to the right of your screen.
So the line of scrimmage is going to be the 20-yard line, and it'll be 4th and 3.
That's a curious call. You know, if you take the 5 yards, you at least get third down over again. And that is maybe Pat Shurmur is comfortable with his yardage at 4th and 3, but I would have been tempted to. I'd have been tempted to take the 5 yards and replay third down.
Tom Coughlin wants some noise, and he gets it. Trent Richardson in the backfield, 4th and 3. Richardson over the middle, has the first down, fighting for more yardage inside the 10.
Well, pressure situation, tremendous protection for Brandon Weeden, but the rookie goes to the rookie. And if you don't think that this is a bright future for the Browns, and Trent Richardson just will not go down. And this time, tremendous blocking by Sean Laval, the right guard. He handles Jason Pierre-Paul. And Tom Coughlin upset with his defense.
1st and goal from the 10. Weeden, and that was batted as he let it go by Jason Pierre-Paul.
And he has become quite a pass blocker. Of course, he's got the great height and the long arms, and that's just good awareness.
6'5" helps, doesn't it?
Yep. I mean, Joe Thomas had him blocked. He wasn't anywhere near the quarterback, but that's the best you can do in that situation.
2nd and goal. Richardson. A little bit of a delay, and he makes it to about the 5.5 yard line. It'll be third down. You know, these two rookies that you mentioned, Dan, pretty interesting in that there's some discussion about drafting a running back as high as the number 3 pick overall. There's also a great deal of discussion about drafting a quarterback who is about to turn 29 years of age.
I'm sure you could find a lot of NFL people that would say I wouldn't have done either one. That I wouldn't take a running back with the 3rd pick. If you're going to take a running back in the 3rd pick, you better be special.
Better be as good as Trent Richardson.
Yeah.
That pass batted in the air. Weeden has it and looks and throws at the end zone. He can't do that.
He can't do that. He already threw one forward pass. There's a rookie mistake.
Tom Coughlin about jumped out of his headset.
Illegal forward pass. Offense number 3. There were 2 forward passes thrown during the play. The penalty is a 5-yard previous spot and will replay third down.
It looks like that hits Justin Tuck and comes right back to Brandon Weeden. Now he can take off and run with it. That's perfectly legal, but you do not get a second. Hits Justin Tuck right in that formidable face mask of his. Right in the grill. I guess that was just an instinctive reaction on Weeden's part to wind up and let it go again, but you'd think anyone who's played much quarterback would realize you only get one forward pass.
Weeden over the middle, intercepted in the end zone. Chase Blackburn.
Brandon Weeden obviously upset with himself on back-to-back plays.
The only prayer Brandon Weeden had of completing that last pass was if Chase Blackburn had fallen down and the pass went over his head.
Oh, I have a recommendation. He could have thrown it to someone else.
Manning, Bradshaw straight ahead. Let's go back to that play.
Yeah, and Chase Blackburn has, he's got man coverage all the way on Benjamin Watson, and he's just got it. He's underneath. The only way Weeden could have completed this was if somehow Benjamin Watson was 12 feet tall, and he would have thrown it a lot higher. But Chase Blackburn just textbook coverage, man coverage, nothing fancy about it at all. Weeden needed to check down, go someplace else, and he did.
The education of a quarterback in the National Football League. Ahmad Bradshaw running room near side, up the sideline. Across the 45 to midfield and a first down.
Well, talk about a running back that with a 2-touchdown lead could have just casually stepped out of bounds and said, hey, I just had a nice first down run. Ahmad Bradshaw's having none of that. Behind Hynoski, who gets an outstanding block. You know, right there, he could have stepped out of bounds. He steps back into the middle of the field, picks up another 5 yards.
That's a career high 161 yards rushing for Ahmad Bradshaw. 28 yards on that last one. And a couple of more. Let's check in once again at the NFL Today. JB and Boomer.
Redskins' other rookie quarterback.
How about this, JB? Kirk Cousins comes in for the injured. RG3 throws the ball right down the middle. Have no idea where the safeties were for the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons come back, tack on a field goal, 17-17, fourth quarter.
I know he played with an arch rival of Dan Dierdorf's, but he's pretty good. Greg and Dan.
Dan, you and I will see those Atlanta Falcons next Sunday.
Yes, we will.
On 2nd and 6, Eli sets up the screen for Bradshaw. Skips one tackler inside the 45 to the 44.
Ataba Rubin was the defensive tackle for the Cleveland Browns, who got nothing but air when Ahmad Bradshaw goes low. Here comes Rubin, number 71. Hello.
And goodbye.
I didn't think a guy could do that.
Who's Mike? What else that? My man. Get hard. The ball. Hard. Tonight. Hey.
Manning over the middle to Victor Cruz, and looks like he's going to have enough yardage for the first down.
T.J. Ward, the safety, was right there. And they do spot the ball and give the Giants a first down. Talk about knowing exactly where the sticks are. And finally, we have an appearance by David Wilson coming into the Giants huddle. You know, ball security is everything to coaches in the NFL, and David Wilson doesn't yet have Tom Coughlin's complete trust.
What else that?
I'm not sure he has half of Tom Coughlin's trust.
Here's David Wilson. Look at him go. Welcome to the game, 22.
Well, how's that for some blocking by the New York Giants up front? David Wilson never even close to being touched by a Cleveland Browns player. Watch this hole off the right side. Hynoski, tremendous block. Chris Snee just eradicates the linebacker L.J. Ford. And dare I say, Greg, you might have got a little mileage on that.
Don't get carried away. David Wilson's first NFL touchdown is a dandy. The extra point is good.
Ahmad Bradshaw's got to be going, man, I'm killing myself in here. And Wilson comes in for one play and gets that.
5:41 to play in the fourth.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ram Trucks. Guts, glory, Ram. Farmers. Find a knowledgeable local farmers agent at farmers.com. We are insurance. We are farmers. And by Bud Light, the official beer sponsor of the NFL. Here we go.
The two running backs, David Wilson, Ahmad Bradshaw, as we welcome you back. Greg Gumbel, Dan Deerdorf, our producer Mark Wolf, our director Bob Fishman. 5:41 to play. Here in the fourth, it's all Giants now at 41-20. Josh Cribbs in the end zone. And he'll get to return this one from the goal line. 20. And about the 23-yard line. David Wilson scored that last touchdown, and off of his end zone antics, I guess we could call him Flip Wilson. New York Giants arrived here this afternoon averaging 89.5 yards a game rushing. I think these Cleveland Browns have been good for whatever ailed the Giants running game. Denver, New England, Buffalo, San Fran, Tennessee, Minnesota, all coming up next. First doubleheader Sunday on CBS. Weeden throwing near sideline and just misses Josh Gordon. It'll be second and 10.
Come on, boys. Don't start it now. That's not Marcus Kuhn, the defensive tackle. He was involved with a little fracas there, I think, with Alex Mack, the Browns center. You know, the one thing about the Giants running the football, Greg, it's going to be a little tougher next week against the 49ers. I mean, this was a good week to get untracked running the football because the 49ers, every yard you get on them on the ground is hard to earn.
Weeden on second and 10. Stepping up, throwing, and complete to Norwood, and Norwood out close to a first down. Once again, let's check in with JB and Boomer.
Same storyline for the Eagles, close again.
JB, for those fans looking for defense, it's in Pittsburgh, but here's a little offense for you. It's Brent Selleck. 2-yard touchdown pass from Michael Vick. 14-13, Pittsburgh has the ball late in the fourth.
Greg and Dan.
All right, guys. Weeden over the middle. Oh, what a catch. Nice throw, too. Norwood once again. And that's out to the 44-yard line.
And Chase Blackburn, who intercepted Weeden the last time around in the end zone, almost got to that one. That was a fine throw, though, by Brandon Weeden into a tight window.
Coming Coming across is Norwood, and Norwood with running room and out of bounds at about the 41-yard line. So that'll be another Cleveland first down. Hey, tomorrow, the broke girls get robbed, but money isn't the only thing they lose. A new Two Broke Girls tomorrow at 9, 8 Central, only CBS. Four and a half minutes to play. Pat Shurmur.
I like him, don't you, Greg?
I liked him a lot.
Yep. He's an impressive coach. He's got a plan, and we'll see how it works out in Cleveland, getting it executed.
That ball tipped at the line of scrimmage and falls short of its target. We have had a lot of tipped passes.
Yes, we have. He actually completed one, remember, in the first half that got tipped. I think Linval Joseph got his hand on one, and it ended up being a...
And Weeden's no little guy. He's 6'3".
Well, the Giants are very adept at that. Perry Fuel, they work long and hard at it. Of course, you know, it's pretty well documented how good Jason Pierre-Paul is at slapping away passes, but Justin Tuck's been doing it his whole career.
The one thing that surprises us, Dan, is that this Giant defense has not been able to get through to the quarterback today. Weeden, complete, inside the 25 to the 20. Jordan Cameron, the tight end.
No, I think everyone in the Giants' defensive meeting room would have been pretty surprised if you told them that Brandon Weeden at this point in time would have 34 pass attempts and you hadn't gotten to him yet. You got one slapped away.
Weeden's going to throw, and this is complete to Josh Gordon for the touchdown. Brandon Weeden did a good job of threading the needle a couple of times on this drive, including on this pass.
Well, again, he's locked in all the way. Stevie Brown comes across underneath. He can't get a hand on the football. Corey Webster, he's expecting safety help from Stevie Brown, and he didn't get it. Good throw by Brandon Weeden, though. That he put that right there.
That is Gordon's second touchdown catch of the day. The extra point is good. And so now the Giant lead is 41-27 with just under 4 minutes to play here in the fourth.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Verizon. Whatever you want to do, Droid does. And by Subway. Get a free 6-inch sub when you buy any 6-inch sub and a drink.
Back in East Rutherford, where the New York Giants are fully expecting an onside kick attempt from the Cleveland Browns here, who are down 41-27 with 3:56 to play. And a little pooch kick is grabbed just across midfield by Will Hill, number 31.
Well, a little trickery on the part of the Browns trying to catch the Giants overplaying it.
Is it trickery if it doesn't work?
Well, yeah, it's attempted trickery.
Well, attempted trickery. Yeah. Well, there's a difference between...
No, there's not.
Your Honor.
What's the difference between robbery and attempted robbery? Attempted robbery, you're just caught in the middle.
Whether you're successful or not.
Well, no.
Sure, there's a success factor there.
Yeah, but you end up in jail both ways.
True.
And that's where the Browns are right now.
Yeah, the upshot is not good either way.
Mike. What else, sir? 180.
Giants in their own 49-yard line, and Ahmad Bradshaw going to add to his numbers.
Uh-oh, the ball comes out, but I think he was down.
Lots of whistles. Looked like Mitch Petrus was getting some congratulations. He might have gotten the ball either way. Let's see.
My Bradshaw, yeah, his knee. Oh yeah.
Oh, he's down, right?
He's way down. He's prone. They're going for the football though. Look, they finally get it, but long after Bradshaw was down.
So Cleveland calls a timeout using one of its 3 remaining timeouts, so they're down to 2. Passing leaders on the day, Matt Ryan. Ahmad Bradshaw, 172 yards. on the day. And Trent Richardson down there with 81. And one Tony Gonzalez.
Wow, 13 receptions. He just pads his NFL record.
Bradshaw. A little stop and go, doesn't get much, but keeps the clock ticking until another timeout is called here by the Browns, and that's their second.
You know, when we were talking about Tony Gonzalez there, I hope fans really appreciate what an extraordinary career that he is still in the midst of playing. The guy takes care of himself. He's such an imposing physical specimen out on the field with the softest hands.
You know, Dan, unfortunately, fans often don't appreciate a guy while he's playing until after he's gone. And you go, gosh, I wish I'd paid more attention to him while he was on the field.
You wonder if Tony Gonzalez is one of those guys because he hasn't always played for a high-profile team all those years in Kansas City.
On 3rd and 1. Bradshaw looking for the first down, and looks like he's got it at the 40.
I believe he does. Good second effort as he got in there behind David Boss's center.
And number 58, L.J. Fort, getting a few words of advice and caution from the man in a striped shirt. And Cleveland uses its 3rd and final timeout. Kind of a day as number 80 had.
Well, I would say he has made the most of his 5 receptions. If you told him he was going to catch the 5 passes, he'd probably say, really? Is that it? Well, 3 of them were for touchdowns. So I would call that when 60% of your receptions are touchdowns, that's a pretty good day.
Let's just say he's done some dancing today.
He most certainly has.
5 catches for 50 yards and 3 TDs.
Yeah, just go to that last number. That'll make a guy happy.
So the Browns are out of timeouts. Bradshaw still on his feet and slides down short of the sideline.
He is not going out of bounds. There's a veteran running back. 186 yards there, as you see at the top.
And number 71, Ataba Rubin, is limping off the field for the Cleveland Browns. Looks like he's got a right foot or right ankle problem.
And he's one of their productive defensive linemen. Trent Richardson he's got the massive pink look going.
So they will look at Rubin on the sideline. Meanwhile, a new set of downs for Manning and Bradshaw.
That should take us down to the 2-minute warning as Cleveland can no longer stop the clock.
I think they're trying to work Mr. Bradshaw up to the 200-yard mark
he has
on the day.
He has put in a lot of work. And again, they liked so much about David Wilson, his backup. Kevin Gilbride telling us they haven't had quickness like that in the 9 years he's been here, but it's Ahmad Bradshaw. He normally takes care of the football, and he has certainly overcome his lone fumble today.
2 minutes to play here at MetLife Stadium. New York Giants down early, came roaring back, and have been in control. 41-27, back with the final 2 minutes right at the end. Number 85, Martellus Bennett, has been getting a lot of handshakes on the Giants sideline, and I'm sure in large part to coming back from what looked like a serious injury earlier in the game. This is Bradshaw up the middle to the 15-yard line. And that looks like, let's see, it gets him up to 200-yard mark.
Right on the nose. How about a couple of even numbers there? 30 rushes, 200 yards. Congrats to Ahmad Bradshaw. And you were talking about Martellus Bennett. A tip of the toughness cap to Bennett for coming back and playing in a game where looks were very deceiving. That knee injury of his looked really bad.
And it's win the game time now for Eli Manning and the Giants.
Now let's see if that's the Tampa Bay Bucks over there. No, that's...
Time running down. One more update from JB and Boomer.
Boomer's got it.
Well, how about this? The Steelers march all the way down the field. And Sean Squeezem kicks the game-winning 34-yard field goal. No time left on the clock. Steelers go on to beat the Philadelphia Eagles 16-14.
Back to Greg, end-to-end.
All right, guys. Meanwhile, the final 45 seconds ticking away of happy Victor Cruz. Great day for him. Terrific day for Eli Manning throwing the ball. Ahmad Bradshaw running the football. Bradshaw, the 9th 200-yard rusher for the New York Giants, and the first time since the 08 season.
And a tough stretch of games coming up for the Giants, Greg. Out in San Francisco, and then the Redskins, the Cowboys, the Steelers, Cincinnati. They're about to embark on a tough little run.
Tom Coughlin pulls even with Bill Parcells, 77 regular season wins, tied for second best all time in New York Giants franchise history.
Well, congrats to Ahmad Bradshaw. That's a day he won't forget anytime soon.
Our final score, 41-27. Giants coming up next, doubleheader action. Bronx Patriots, Bills Niners, or Titans Vikings.